gesture to make you understand we're passionate about what we're talking about, and we're going to hit everybody in here, and we're going to give you the proven strategies to be SVP in a year or less.
All right, so now we talk about captivating your audience. All eyes are on you from the minute you step up on the stage, from the minute you step in front of the room. So you got to sell the sizzle. What is the sizzle in our opportunity right now?
Energy.
Energy. The buzzwords are energy, helping people save money, helping people make money. You know, you got to sell the sizzle, the residual income, you know, Inc. 500. So keep in mind the buzzwords in a presentation that are going to draw people in. And you got to learn how to work the room. You got to learn how to scan the audience. And you got to just relax and have fun. The more you enjoy what you're doing when you're in front of the room, the more enjoyable it is for the people that are watching you. The more you're making this a very painful process. And one thing, the one reason why people a lot of times turn their back and they stay focused this way is because they're nervous to look this way.
Right.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys a tip. If you're nervous to look at people, look right over someone's head, right about right here. Because to them, even though I'm looking at the top of your head, it looks like I'm looking at you. Okay, so if people looking at you makes you nervous, just kind of look over their head and try to look over a lot of heads.
And I know it's easier said than done for this next statement. But just remember, when you're on stage and you're doing the presentation, number one, you are the highly edified person in the room. You are looked at as the expert to deliver this content, yes? So just always remember that if you're getting nervous, and this is easier said than done, but just remember something. You know more than the guest. So even if you feel you're nervous, you might forget something, or your content is limited because you're just, freaking out on stage, bottom line is you know more than every brand new person in there. And reps should support you no matter what. If somehow you accidentally say 4 links,
Kavaz, where you can bring your vision to life.
Free.
I mean, reps, look, that's not for us to say, wait a minute, and I'm not saying we're going to encourage the 4 links, but reps are still going to play team. And not point that out like, last thing we need is reps doing that.
It's the worst thing for a rep to be up, or an expert to be in the front of the room and someone to correct them. If you have people that are correcting presenters, you need to kind of pull them to the side and be like, you're not supposed to do that, because that de-edifies the presenter. Okay? And even if they forget something on the slide, I've been at meetings at times and somebody's like, oh, you forgot this, don't forget to tell them about this, and that's also not a good thing to do. You don't have to say every single point on the slide. You can fill people in later if they omitted something. All right, now let's talk about this. Do you look like success? We talked about, do you look like success when you go out to prospect? Well, when you get up on this stage, you better look like money. Let me tell you why. Because from the moment especially if you're in a briefing situation, you're the most edified person in the room, so they expect you to look successful. Okay? Ladies, They're looking at your nails, so paint all of them. Right?
Same color.
Alright, same color, right? Alright? They're looking at your shoes. They're looking at your jewelry. When you walk through the door, they're looking at your purse. Believe it or not, how many of you can admit that when someone came in for the first time, you were sizing them up that way too, right? Now, gentlemen, they're looking at you all the same. They're looking at your shoes. They're looking at your watch. They're looking at your tie. You know, and so you really want to make sure you look like someone that people want to do business with, because they are sizing you up from the minute you step in front of the room.
And remember, guys, we're a team. So if you see something that you feel can be corrected, and in a loving way, not in a de-edifying way. I'll give an example. I remember one time when I was getting ready to do a presentation, we were sticklers on what we're talking about right here. We believed that whomever was going to stand on that stage and handle the money, look, that was the money man for the night, or the money woman for the night. So we wanted to make sure that that person was going to be the best, was going to look the best, was going to deliver the best content. So we made sure it was like, look, you're the person for tonight. And I remember one time I was getting ready to go up on stage, and my partner, who was also like an SVP, he came over and he said, hold on, Captain, hold on, man. And I said, what's going on? He said, step over here. So we stepped like kind of outside of everybody's view. He took one of his shoes off, and with his sock, he started shining my shoe. He took his shoe off and just started shining mine. I said, hit the other one. And he stepped back. He said, let me get tight. Go ahead, you're the baddest one in here now. Let's go.
Freeze.